Okay, we will study about
Sounds.
about
Sounds.
sound, not sounds. Okay. So what is a sound, right?
Yes.
Before we understand sound, we have to understand fish in the water, right? Fish, he lives in the water, right?
Yes.
If you push water, right? If two of you are in the pool, right? And he pushes water towards you, would you feel it? It will come, right?
Yes.
If you are far, you will feel it like it will come, like it will be late and it will be weak, correct? We are also in water. We are also living in
Water.
water. But we don't know that we are living in
Water.
water. We are living in a thin water, right? They call it liquid and they call gas. They call water and they call air, correct?
Yes.
But it's not a good terminology. It makes it more complicated. It makes it like two complete different things, right? We have water and we have thin water. We are living in
In water.
thin water. Or you can say we are in air and fishes are living in thick air. One of the two. It's the same thing which is below the sea. So fish does not know that there is something between him and another fish. But when we see, we can see that there is water between the two fishes, correct? The same way, we think that there is nothing between you and me. But every time I move my hand like this, or I move anything, there are waves going and touching him, right? But because the water is so thick, I do it like this, it's gonna come little stronger, correct?
Yes.
But the air, it's very thin, right? It is a thin water, right? So if I do like this, like, or I take a fan and I do it like that a couple of times, then a big quantity of water is, the air is gonna come to you. Then you're gonna feel it, correct? So this is the thing. Also, there are many reasons to believe that, because you see, what is water? Water is H2O, right? It's also in the end, they can be gases, right? Hydrogen is a gas and oxygen is a gas. But they are being held together by magnetic charge. This is what we're gonna talk about later on, right? But now we have to know the same way we are living, our environment is like 75% something is nitrogen, and then we have oxygen, and then we have some other gases like 4-5%, right? Where does it come from? All those gases, they come from earth. So this is all that we are going to talk about it later, right? Now, how do we hear, right? Hearing is basically sense only, right? Just like if I touch you, you can feel it, right? What is sense? When if someone touches you, it's actually the lowest degree of pain, right? It's a pain. But because when you touch so slow, it's very mild pain, which is actually pleasurable, right? If you do like that to a cat or a dog, he likes it, right? But when it becomes more, then if it's stronger, then it hurts you, right? And pain is like I said before, that it's like a warning for your body. It's like in your defensive system, so that you will see, oh, mosquito bit me, so you can do something, you can take some action, right? Same way, just as the water, when I push it towards you, you're gonna feel it, right? So how does it produce sound, right? the very thin air, now that I'm doing like this, you cannot feel it, right? But who can feel it? Inside your ear, the eardrum. Eardrum is like a very small tissue paper, right? It's so light and so small, and it can vibrate. Like if you blow on it, it will shake. It's very sensitive. And when it vibrates, it will send some signal to the brain. That is what we call a sound. In reality, there is no sound. Sound is what our brain projects this motion, this vibration to us as, right? So we hear, even animals have the same thing and this and that. It's a way of understanding what kind of pressure is coming towards us or something like that, right? Now, how does sound get produced, right? Sound is nothing but vibration. You know what is vibration? If something goes like, you know when the phone is vibrating,
Yes.
yeah? If anything goes left and right, it's called
Vibration.
vibration, right?
Yes.
Now, if I do this, if I move something left, right, 10 times in a second, so that means we will say this is vibrating at 10 hertz. 10 hertz means 10 times in a second, right? If I say this is vibrating at 100 hertz, what does that mean? In a second. It's doing like left, right, more than, faster than you can see, correct? So, our ears can only pick from I think 100 hertz or something to 1000 hertz or something. We have a limited range. So if it's something will shake 100 times, it will hear, or 1000 times it will hear, up to 1000 times, right? Then these vibrations are translated into different sound. You know, all the sound in this world is basically, before they said it's 7 tunes, right? Like different levels, right?
Yes.
Which they say so, la, re, la, ma, all that one, right? So now they are saying it's 11 because there is a between this and that, whatever. So every vibration, based on the vibration, our ears will produce some chemical which will sound like right? So how does all these things produce sound? Right? So if I take this, right, and I hit here, you see why it made sound? You know why? Because this table, can you believe it? This table, it shook like 100 to 1000 times. You cannot see it, but if you put a microscope here, a slow motion camera and everything, you will see it going up and down this area, right? And if it is more soft, then bigger area will move. And the more it will move, the louder the sound will be. But this one is just moving like so. So if I do like this, you can hear it's so light, correct? Now, in this glass, right? If I do, right? It's, this glass is shaking, right? But if I don't hold it, you see? Now it's able to shake more. So the more it vibrates, the sound becomes higher pitch. Right? See now? It's like ting, ting. Now if I hold it here, it's gone, right? And if I hold like little, right, and here, it's completely different, right? Now if I throw the water out, you will hear even higher pitch. Why? Because the water also stops it from vibrating, right? It cannot move so easily, right? But see this. But if I make it empty, you will hear more, right? So if you look at this through a slow motion camera, what are you gonna see? You will see it shaking. Very less, but it's shaking. When it's shaking, what is happening? It's acting like a fan. When this is shaking, it's acting like a fan, right? So less that you cannot feel any air, right? But there is air which is going in your ear, just like that, right? And then when you hear it, your eardrum starts also shaking like that. So here it's shaking so much, but your eardrum is like shaking little less, because just like water, if I push so strong here, right, you will see it very strong, but in the end it will become very weak. But even that weak, our ear can pick it. But if I do like this now, right, and see now Ruqayya, she can hear it like only this much, right? But if I do it like this, it's so loud, my ear is paining already. Why? Because now it's pushing straight in my ear, it's so loud, right? But because I'm near, it's coming to me so fast. So this is sound, correct? Everything vibrates. Whatever is making sound, it vibrates, including the ground. But you see, now the ground is not vibrating. The ground is not vibrating, this is the one vibrating. You understand? Because I'm hitting one object to another object. Even your own skin vibrates. It vibrated. If you see it in the camera, you will see it going like if it does not go above 100 times, if it will not shake more than 100 times, it will not produce. Our ears will shake, but it will not send any message to the brains, right? So our ears will pick up anything from 100 or whatever range it is till 1000 or whatever it is. Above that, our ears cannot pick. That's why they have a dog whistle. Dog whistle. Only dogs can hear. You know why? Because the dog's range is bigger. So let's say we can only hear up to 1000 vibrations. Dogs can hear, let's say, up to 2000 vibrations. So there is a whistle, when you blow, it makes a frequency of 2000 hertz, right? So that's when the dog hears it, but we don't hear it. And the dogs come running towards you, right? How do we produce sound? Right? To produce sound, what we have to do? We have to shake something 1000 times or 100 times, then you will hear something, correct? This is why we can play sound. You know what is a speaker? You know the speaker, yeah? What is a speaker? Speaker has a magnet and it has a plate. So if it has to make, it will go like 100 times. The magnet will turn on and off, so the plate will shake. So you'll hear, if it has to go, it will shake like 1000 times. So you will hear. It's just pushing the air, right? 1000 times, 100 times, 1000. And this thing keeps happening. Now when I'm talking, I'm producing sound, correct? How am I producing sound? It is because I have air in my lungs, in my stomach, everywhere, right? And now I am breathing it out, correct? I mean, I'm using that air also to breathe and also to make sound, right? How? When I send the air outside, because basically what is sound? It's air vibrated, right? You do it like this and you push it. So when I'm sending it, my lungs is blowing it out, and then we have a ball inside, right? That is the one which creates the vibration, right? And then the tongue finally makes the pitch, by making it thicker, thinner, and couple of things. So basically, the important thing is the round ball which creates the vibration. Understand? So now when I'm talking, I am constantly, the thing is shaking. It's vibrating. But when you hear such a nice voice, yeah? Especially my voice is so nice, and yeah. So now you want to know if it's really vibrating. How you will know? When the air will become less. When the air will become less, it will become slow, right? Then you will hear the vibration. So I'll show you how. Okay. Now listen to me. I'll just say ah, and you see in the end when I will run out of my breath, see what will happen. You heard the vibration in the end? If I can hold it even longer, you will hear more. So, when you're talking, you're always collecting air and sending it, and so it goes on very well. So now you understand what is sound? Yes. So microphone is just the opposite of speaker. It's like our eardrum. When you talk, it will shake. When it will shake, the plate will shake, it will create magnetic charge. And then those things will come as volts. We will study that later on. And then it will be stored as sound. And to produce sound, you will just send the magnet on, off, on, off, on, off, as how you want the sound to come out, and then people will hear, right? So the bigger the speaker, more air will flow, so it will go far, right? So if only Ruqayya is pushing the water in the pool, it will not reach till Muhammad if he's standing all the way in the end, correct? Because it's just less. So if you really want to attack Muhammad, what you will do? So many of you will start pushing the water, right? So it will go, right, in the end, and it will be strong also. So bigger speaker, longer range. But our own sound is very strong. When we push the water, it can go very far. But what is disturbing? So many people are pushing. So our one gets lost in the way. It goes till here, then it becomes, very hazy, right? Because so many people are creating sound, right? So many water is going here and there. That's why in the night, it becomes, if you can hear also from the main road, right? You can hear sound. Because now nobody is making any waves in the thing, right? So that sound can travel easy. Nothing is coming in. Now what is echo? Right? In the movies you might see that this guy is near the mountain, right? And he's saying, hey, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Come here, come here, come. What is happening? When you say, hey, your sound goes everywhere, right? You are pushing the air, it will go here, it will. So let's say there is a mountain here and there is a mountain here. So the one, when you say, hey, it will go to this mountain and come back, right? If you push water on a wall, it will come back to you and it will touch you. So if you did 10 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it will come back to you after 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, little weak, right? So the same way when you say, hey, and there are two mountains, the sound is traveling like that, right? So it will touch this mountain and come back to you, then you will hear, hey, then it will, hey. But this one will be stronger than the other one, right? So the first reverb, which is like coming back of the wave in your ear, will be stronger. So you'll say, hey, hey, hey. It goes like that, right? So depending on the things, right? Similarly, in this house now, we have some stuff, right? So now when I'm saying, it's not going and hitting the wall so much, right? Because now let's say if I'm pushing water, it will not go directly to the wall, right? Some will go to the table, some will go between the chair and all that, and it will get lost. It will not know how to come back to me. So we don't hear echo, right? But when we have to leave this house, right? We take out all the furniture out, and suddenly you will hear echo. You will say, why is there an echo? Because now your voice can just go and hit the wall and come back to you straight. Right? So this is all about sound. Okay? Then, like I said, the sound dogs can hear on a higher frequency, correct? But we cannot hear. Right? So then they said, okay, we have speaker to make sound on any frequency we want. Right? And the microphone can hear that sound. But humans cannot hear it. Because we can only hear up to 1000 times per second. But today the computer can make it in millions and billions times per second, the sound. So what they are doing now, you know, all the TV and all the internet and all the cell phone, whichever is wireless, they are actually producing sound. So, for example, if I press A, okay, it will make 5000 times per second. Then you cannot hear it, right? If I push air 5000 times, you will not hear it, right? But my microphone can hear it, correct? So if the microphone will hear that it's moving 5000 times per second, it will write there A. We will do this experiment later on, okay? We will make a speaker and we will make a microphone, so we will have a communication. So when we tell the speaker to send 5000, we will see how much are we receiving there. Of course, we will not receive exactly 5000, so we have to say if it is between 5000 to 6000, that means it's A. And if it is 6000 to 7000, that means it's B. And then we can have our own wireless communication. This is exactly how, but you know, it's a little more sophisticated, but this is how all the wireless communication works. The TV channels, you know, the walkie-talkie is even more simple. Walkie-talkie, you know how the police is communicating and everything. So now, I told you, like, let's say humans can only hear from 100 to 1000, correct? Example, that's not correct, you have to check on in Google what it is, right? So, if I say anything above 1000, you cannot hear, correct? If it's shaking 100 times, that means it's if it's 200 times, it means like that, right? So the radio, they will add one more 1000 on top of it. So if it was 100, it will become 1100, right? So now humans cannot hear. Then that radio, which is like another mic, when he will receive it, his device will remove the 1000 from it and send it on the speaker. So now you can hear the Same way, if I send 500, it will add 1000 to it, so it will become 1500. So 1500 humans cannot hear, but that radio will hear it and it will deduct 1000, it will become 500 again, and so people cannot hear, but the two people who are communicating on the radio, they can hear, right? So this is sound and communication. Both are related, right? The sound is also here. So what we learned first thing, that we are living in water. It is a thin water, and because we live in it, this one I have a lot of proof for this, because of the pressure, the way you see below the sea level there is higher pressure, and now here also we have some pressure, but if you go up there is no pressure. Why is there a pressure here? Because again, all the things which is coming out from the earth is trying to go out. You know, it's like the heat of the earth, whatever. That all those things we are going to talk about it next time. So you understand? Right? You have any questions? I'm going to ask you after some time, so just remember. What is sound? It's a vibration. Yeah? It's simple, like you don't have to, it's just like if something will not vibrate, it will not make sound. For example, if this ground does not vibrate, so how is it making sound? Because my leg is vibrating, right?